Ladies and gentlemen, it's Tuesday night. Time for your favorite show on YouTube for Alabama content, the Bama Standard. Before we get rolling, everyone get in that comment section. Let's go ahead and get things fired up. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. If you're watching the replay, let us know what you think. As always, we're brought to you by Workspace Solutions. They're the ones who keep the lights on for us and the bills paid. And apparently Marvin Constant is building a house in the background off screen. Anyway, I'm your host, Justin Riley. With me, as always, is Bob the Builder. Marvin Constant, all SEC linebacker, all SEC and everything he does. When Ric Flair said to be the man, woo, you got to beat the man. He is that man. Marvin Constant. Did you build that birdhouse? Because it sounded like you had something going on.
I was changing rooms. I was changing scenery, man. I had to change rooms.
I got you. Well, with him,
don't do that, C'Chi.
With him is one of the top legends in the industry, the man that Paul Feinbaum keeps on speed dial, senior analyst of Touchdown Alabama Magazine, Stephen M. Smith. And then next to him, because she made such a powerful impact in this previous show, who's quickly becoming the biggest name in Alabama sports. C'Chi, welcome in, folks.
How much did she pay you to come back?
Whatever. I didn't have to pay anything. Hey, I think your dues are due, Marvin.
Dues. I paid my dues on the field.
Okay.
You see that all SEC plaque? Those are my dues.
No, I can't really see it. I mean, it's kind of small.
Southeastern Conference.
Hey, Joseph, just ignore him. He'll stop soon.
I got you.
Well, we got a special guest with us tonight to start things out, and the only person who can bring him in the right way is Stephen M. Smith. Go ahead, brother. What you got?
I mean, man, when I tell you that Eric Woolford is bringing in grown men, like real deal grown men, and this is the next young man in this wave of grown men. He's coming in the 2024 class. He's already said he's coming early. He's coming next January, the pride of Clearwater, South Florida. He putting you in the dirt. He's already got the flag. He's got the championship hat on. He's working on an NIL with Troy Polamalu head and shoulders. We got Joseph Ionata, the coolest name for an offensive lineman. Joe is in here.
I appreciate it.
Now, where else are you going to get that kind of entrance?
Nowhere.
Do you need him at your high school games for the senior year? I mean, what better way to end for that?
Hey, sign me up. I'll be down there.
I got you.
Oh God! Don't do it to yourself. Don't do it.
Hey, Marvin, don't block my blessing, bro. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm coming down to Clearwater.
See, and I was getting ready to invite you to my housewarming, man.
What housewarming in Belize?
Yeah.
What house?
Housewarming.
I don't need a housewarming in my current house, man. This is done. This is over.
But you can't.
So Marvin, what are you intending on me to bring?
I don't need you to bring nothing but yourself.
Okay.
Because I'm buying a boat. I'm buying a boat too. I'm actually about to be half owner of a travel company, so I take y'all out on the water while you there too.
But Stephen, keep in mind he will be flying you down there on Spirit Airlines. Anyway, we've got a very special guest, Joseph. Thanks for so much for coming on with us. We're pretty excited to have the top offensive lineman in this recruiting class, and yes, I can go ahead and crown you as that, man. You were in Tuscaloosa this past weekend. You talked a little bit before we joined on the time you spent down there. If you would, for the audience, tell us what you experienced, what you saw, and how did it make you feel about your decision?
Yeah, I mean, it was really just more of what I really love about Alabama. You know, the great relationships I have with everyone, and getting to see more of life as a student, life outside of football, which is also super important to me. So getting to see all that really just like cemented my knowing that Alabama's the place for me.
What are you majoring in?
So I don't know. Yeah, I think I might try to do something with like sports science or like business. Maybe. So I think I might want to coach after football.
Don't do it.
Hmm.
Don't do it.
So if that doesn't work out, I think I might want to do like a football specific training.
Don't do
Like
it.
facility and
Don't do
Mark,
it. I'm trying to help him out, Justin, because here's what he doesn't understand. When he's done playing football, whether it's 10, 15 years from now, your body's going to feel like crap. So standing up and being a coach is not a good idea. Training people all day and having to demonstrate drills is not a good idea. Pick a major where you can make a lot of money doing a cushy job because you're going to be beat to hell for playing football.
yes,
And I ain't saying that to be mean. I'm telling you the life that all of us live.
yes, sir.
well, not everybody can fly to a different exotic country every other weekend and put it on their Instagram. So,
But that's why I have an information science degree.
well, while you're down there, how is your relationship building already with the players on currently on staff, and how have they been mentoring you along the way?
Oh yeah, it's awesome. You know, I'm really close with a lot of the freshmen, the incoming or the freshman linemen that are there right now. Olis kind of was showing me around this weekend. You know, I'm really good friends with Wilkin, Caden, Rock. You know, all those guys are really great, and you know, they really embody like the winning spirit. Like they're not going to do something dumb to you know, jeopardize the fact that you guys want to go win. So I think that's like really important to surround yourself with people who have like the same goal as you.
Not only is it important, it's also important to find that upperclassman who's been there and done that, who can teach you the ropes and the ins of the outs. Now, you got to be careful, though, when selecting said upperclassmen, because some of them have these egos where they feel they're bigger than the world. And some of the things they'll tell you aren't quite right because they try to, you know, buck the system and get away with things, or they just cut corners. So find somebody who's really, truly responsible and accountable who will lead you the right way so that when your time comes, you're more than prepared.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
The big so Joseph, my thought to you is, of course, everybody knows, you know, Coach Nick Saban, what he does, what he brings when you're there on the campus. But for your position coach, Eric Woolford, on the offensive line, being around him, what kind of vibe do you get from him? A lot of guys look at him as kind of this wild man, but when you study him, when you were able to watch him and be around him, what vibe did you pick up from Coach Wolf?
Mm-hmm. You know, I wouldn't necessarily say wild, but you know, he's a fun person to be around. I personally think he's pretty laid back and relaxed most of the time, but he's going to make sure that you're having a good time, and you know, really just make sure all your needs are met. You know, I think he's a great coach. The intensity that he brings to the field is unmatched. So I'm really excited to see how it can be developed under him.
Right. And that's a good word, develop. I think from a player perspective, but also personally, I think a lot of times when we, you know, think about the players on the field, we see them out there just as players, but you know, you all are people as well. And so that, to me, that comes first as far as like building your character. But I do want to ask you, so you're part of the 2024 class, and I know that, you know, you were heavily recruited out of pretty much everywhere in the nation. And so I want to know, especially since your dad, you know, we know him to have played at Florida State. He was also a lineman. I want to know, just from your perspective, I'm sure there were a few factors that went into why you chose Alabama, but I want to know, like, if you have to choose one top reason aside from Marvin Constant as to why you chose Alabama, can you give us that reason? And do you feel like it kind of, like whatever you felt in that moment, it was always there in a sense?
Oh yeah, I think 100%. For me, it was really just the atmosphere there. Like, it's the mentality of everyone. So it's not only like the mentality of development and winning and growing as a person. Your strive you're encouraged to grow in every aspect of your life at Alabama, and I really think that being a big focus is what eventually led me there.
Well, I got. Oh, sorry. I got one question for you.
Yes, sir.
Being a legacy, why didn't you choose Florida State?
Ooh.
I really just didn't feel the connection at Florida State, and it wasn't home to be at all. I wanted to go where I was the best suited to go, so going to Alabama was my decision.
What part of, do you think that your dad kind of just his style of play, that it affected your way of playing in any way?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I mean, my dad has always been there to mentor me and help me out with my questions of football. So I definitely think that that part of it really helped me evolve into the player that I am right now.
Who's the better lineman, you or your dad?
He even says that he says it was me. So my
Okay.
dad,
That's what dads are supposed to do.
no, my dad was pretty good, but he's that was back when you could play left tackle at 6'2". So
Hold on.
he would
When was your dad at Florida State?
he played with Dion.
In the
So
80s, right? I think.
mid '80s.
Late 80s, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, because
So
when you
he
said
was
tackles
long
being
as I guess.
6'2", yeah, you threw me off with that 6'2" tackles. I was like, yeah, we
You know,
can
he
have
was
that in the
pretty-
late 90s.
No, he was pretty solid. He definitely is the main reason I'm the player I am today.
Yeah. That's
So I do
awesome.
have to ask, who are you looking forward to going up against in practice and across the field in an opponent? Have you picked anybody out yet?
I don't know if I definitely know the game one, and I think that would be probably Mason Smith from LSU. I think he's dog, so I think that would be a great game matchup if he's still there when I get up and start getting some serious playing time. But other than that, I really haven't picked anyone out that I really need to go against. So we'll see.
Well, are you looking forward to this new schedule, the unknowns? So, after the next season, nobody knows what the schedules or the divisions will even look like in the SEC. So no one even knows what rivalries will be left intact. So it's kind of like, do I even know what I'm walking into at this point? So what are your thoughts on that? Not knowing who you're even going to have to play for the duration of your college career.
Yeah, I mean, if Bama continues to be how Bama has been, I don't really think we need to worry that much about who we're playing, and just
Well,
really.
it's not so much as a standpoint of worrying about who you're playing. So there are certain games as a player you're going to look forward to, your rivalry games. We always look forward to playing Tennessee. We always look forward to playing LSU. But no one knows what's going to be left intact after this season.
I mean, I kind of have a feeling that both schools would try to set up games against each other just because it's been such a long-standing rivalry. So I'm not necessarily worried about that. And I want to go and play whoever because I just want to go play.
When you look at just Joseph, like your style as an offensive tackle, like what is your style when you hit the field, when you have an opponent in front of you, whether you're trying to pass protect, whether you're trying to run block, when you face a guy opposite of you, like what is your style when you get between them lines?
Yeah, I mean, I really just want to dominate. I want to take the will away from the defensive lineman that's lined up across me because I feel like as soon as I make him obsessed with trying to beat me, I feel like I've won that battle. And I think it's those small things like blocking him until the whistle. I really think that gets in the defensive lineman's head and really starts to throw off their game.
You definitely do that. We talked a little bit about this before we got on air. You don't just drive your opponents off the ball. You drive them out of the stadium. You put them in their
You send
cars.
them
You send
home.
them home. It's like
You
that
do.
scene from The Blind Side. I don't know if that's your
Yeah.
favorite movie or not, but
Big
that's one of
Mike.
the biggest things that stand out to me. And hearing you say that, I can definitely attest that you do nothing less. And that's what we as Bama fans long to see. That's the standard when it comes to the offensive line. So that's one of the things we're really excited about.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I want to piggyback off of that. I saw some highlights, Joseph, from some of your games, and that was one thing that I think, especially the other Bama fans, need to kind of like know and remember about you before you get to campus. Is just how physical you are. And I think there was a game where you played against Keon Keeley, possibly. Yeah, and he was on the opposing side. And so, as some of us know, Keon Keeley, he'll be on the team this year. So, we'll get to see him play. And then we'll see you, of course, when you hit the campus early next year. But I do want to ask you, what do you have? I guess, what are your plans between now and when you do arrive to campus? One, to remain, I guess, as physical as you are, but then two, to build up, maybe like leadership skills or your character.
I'm really just continuing to be on that grind, like how I was outside of my commitment. Just striving to continue to get stronger, bigger, faster, better. And really just trying to step into or continue to step into that role of a leader. I was a captain last year, and I am a captain this year, so I'm really excited just to continue to put that on display.
We got a question from the audience from Lucian. Joseph, do you play any other sport or have any hobbies outside of football?
So I threw the shot put a little bit this year, but that was only for a couple weeks because we kind of ran out of time with it because of spring football and everything like that. And I just decided that I wanted to stick to football.
I know a lot of things, Joseph, go into recruiting, and for a lot of these guys, you're visiting all of these schools, you have all these programs pulling on you this way and that way. A lot of the guys, it's a lot of pressure on them for what decision do I make, talking to family, talking to high school coaches. But when you're finally able to make the decision of, okay, I'm committing here, I want to go here, like how much does that really take off you when you think, man, I finally made this commitment, these people can stop harassing me? Like how much better do you feel after, okay, I made the commitment, I can move on to what I really want to do, which is just playing ball until I get on this campus?
Yeah, it's really awesome. I don't really have to worry about the I'm gonna call it the politics of recruiting. Just everything about just trying to go somewhere, trying to get the most likes or something. So I'm really at peace with my decision, and I'm super excited just to almost be done with that. But I'm glad that I know I made the right decision.
Well, I can tell you this: when you're at the top of the food chain, even though you commit, it still does not stop. They don't stop.
I know, believe me, I know.
I don't know if you're a guy who likes comparisons, but a lot of people have actually compared you to Landon Dickerson. I got a two-part question. How do you feel like your game compares to him? And what do you think about your game maybe a little bit better?
So I mean, I think Landon's a great player. I definitely watch him a lot to try to pick up some tips. That whole Eagles O line is awesome. So I love watching them to try to improve my game. But I definitely see shades of Landon in my play. Just really physical, aggressive guys who want to get off the ball and get on that defensive lineman as quick as we can. So, I think it's an honor to be compared to him, and I hope I can live up and go play in the NFL as long as he has. I think it'd be great.
Do you have a railroad tie as a bumper as well?
Well, I can't even tell you what that means.
Have you never seen Landon's truck?
His truck.
He didn't have a bumper. He had a railroad tie for a bumper on the front of his truck.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that. I have to look at that later. That's pretty funny.
Okay, so the one thing you just always know about Landon Joseph is not just the railroad tie there, but he used to love to pick at defensive linemen and get them to jump off sides and get them to make dumb penalties and then point to the ref like, he did it. Landon loved to poke fun at people. He enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Well, we got a few more minutes left. We'll go around the room. We'll start with C'Chi and then go to Stephen M. Smith and Marvin. so to ask a few more questions before we let this young man get back to his day.
Yeah. So I want to know. I'm sure that you watch our games. I'm sure you watched our games last year, right? And now I haven't played, of course, but in my mind, there are areas that we could have improved in terms of our, linemen. And so, as physical as you are, when you're watching our games, particularly the last couple of years, were you ever like screaming at the TV, like, "What is that? What are you doing?" Like, did you get frustrated sometimes and almost like, okay, if I were out there, I would have done this, this, and this differently.
I mean, I feel like every sports fan kind of has that initial reaction when something doesn't go their way. But I feel like those guys are some of the best to do it, and they're going up against the best to do it. So, I understand kind of making mistakes and knowing how hard it is to really compete against the best of the best. So, you know, um, obviously everyone thinks they can do it. So I'm not saying there hasn't been a time where I think, oh, I can totally make that block. But I understand how hard it is. So you know what I mean?
Yep, that was the politically correct answer. So
Pretty much.
Good
He
job.
said he is not stepping into a hole, messing around with you.
I know.
See, you got to reserve certain questions for former players. You can't ask the recruits and current players certain questions because media relations, that is frowned upon. See,
Yeah.
now you can ask me some questions. I give you the honest truth.
Yeah, I know. I saw you shaking your head over there.
And, yeah, he'll answer honestly, holding nothing back. But Marvin, what questions do you have for him, or maybe some advice? You're great at giving advice to these up and comers, and I feel
Well,
like it'd be pivotal for his game.
I don't have any questions, but the best advice I can give you is don't get frustrated. I've seen so many guys over the years, even from before I played, when I played, after I played, they get frustrated because you got to understand something. College football is one of the greatest equalizers in the game, meaning it's not that same level of talent you played in high school. So, you might be playing a high school defensive lineman who might be 5'10", maybe 6 foot. He might be, 280. He may bench 275 to 300 pounds. But when you get to college, you're going to run up on these guys that are 6'6" to 6'8", 300, 330 pounds, benching 600 pounds. And, it's a different ball game, and that's when you start to see that gap in talent decrease, and you start to see who works the hardest. Oh, that's who's going to be successful. So just take your time, take a deep breath, take it all in. Don't let it overwhelm you, because it will be overwhelming. Because you got to realize something. You're going to go to college as 17, 18 years old. You're going to line up against grown men who could potentially be 22, 23 years old. So, when they say grown man strength, that's a real thing.
Yes, sir.
Right. So just, take a deep breath, enjoy the process, take it all in. Don't let it overwhelm you. And just remember, your day will come as long as you do the work.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay.
I guess my piece of advice is don't buy into all the social media. Don't buy into all the social media. You're going to have a lot of people that may say things on Instagram or Twitter, targeting you. Never buy into that. I know a lot of players, when the season starts, they even turn their Instagram off. They turn their Twitter off, their Facebook off, and they just zone into the season, the games, the practices. And that's the big thing. And I know for a lot of athletes, their parents look at that stuff and they look at it, they read into it. So have your mom and your dad, don't buy into it. Whatever they're saying out there, you pay no attention to that. I'm focusing here on this game. I want y'all focusing in on this game and this career that I'm trying to have. So the biggest thing for me that I can tell you, social media is its own maze. Don't buy into it.
Yes,
sir.
And whatever you do, don't ever trust the media. Nothing is off the record. The moment you say it, they will use it if they feel like it'll get them the clickbait that they want. Nothing is off limits. Just know that.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Question from the audience from Ryan Dillard: how did Coach Wolf get you hooked on Bama?
I mean, he really just preached. He preached development, and he preached that Alabama was the place for me. And I really, looking on his track record and everything that he's done, along with everything that Alabama's done, it was really just the perfect fit.
Tell the truth. It was the breakfast at Ramajamas that did it for you. It gets everybody. Come on.
I mean, it does though. I mean, Ramajamas do get everybody. I ain't gonna
Hey,
lie.
not just there. Head over to the Waysider. You will not leave hungry. Yes, I'm telling you, man. I don't have to tell you anything. Just go there for the experience. They'll treat you right. Well, let me ask you this. I'm sure this is on the minds of all Bama fans. What message do you have for them as you come in? What are you going to do to get us to a natty?
Yeah, I'm working right now on building up this class and really getting people that are like-minded, winning good people who are hard workers, and I'm excited to see where we're going to go with this, and I definitely believe we're going to bring back a couple of natties.
Well,
He
welcome
said
to
a couple.
the family.
He said a
couple.
couple.
I'll take that.
He did.
He said a couple.
Welcome to the family.
He's like, I didn't wear that hat for nothing. You see this hat.
But your recruiting class is pretty special, of course, 2023 as well. And y'all, both of you guys, or both classes really, have been very vocal and actively recruiting each other. Y'all really didn't need a coach to recruit you. You've been recruiting each other. Talk about how special that is and how that's kind of played a role in securing some of these commitments.
Yeah, I think that's super cool because it's not only recruits and coaches, but it's also the current players that are there that have reached out to me. So I really think it's a cool environment because the recruits aren't really gonna treat you how a coach will. So they're gonna kind of tell you their plan that they kind of want to team up with you and stuff like that. So I think it's been awesome.
That's what's up. Well, one last question. Who's your favorite Bama player of all time, and do you have a favorite game? Well, outside of Marvin Compton, of course.
Favorite game. So my favorite Bama player is probably Dickerson. I really watch his film a lot, try to pick up stuff on him. But I don't know if I have a favorite Alabama game to pick one. I don't really know.
I'll tell you what I want you to do. I want you to go back and I want you to look at some of the film from 2010, 2011.
2012.
I want you to watch Chance Warmack. I want you to watch DJ Fluker. I want you to watch those guys. You want to talk about an offensive line that was destroying people? That group from 2009 to 2012, that was a different breed of lineman. Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah. Go back and watch that entire group, especially that 2012 group, and then you're gonna think, man, them was some creatures, some real life creatures.
I kid you not. I seen DJ Fluker when he got to campus. I was there that day. He shows up to run. They didn't have any cleats to fit him because he wears a size 22 shoe. So he's out there running in these white Air Force Ones. When I tell you they were huge. I didn't even know they made Air Force Ones that big. But the moment, and he and I got huge hands. My hands are huge. He shook my hand. His fingers were up halfway up my wrist. And I was like, who the hell is this dude? And what did they make him?
That's awesome.
Probably Joseph, the game to watch in that 2012 season. Go back and watch the SEC championship against Georgia. Primarily the play where Chance Warmack literally pulls Barrett Jones around him. Like, I've never seen a grown man take another grown man and literally pull him around on a cutback counter block. It's the craziest thing I ever saw.
Stephen, how many first rounders did they have on that line? God.
I mean, I think Fluker went first round. Warmack went first round. Cyrus Quanjo went first round too, I think. So they had three.
Is that did we have Marcel Darius still at that time?
No, he was gone.
He was gone at that time. Yes, Sale was gone.
Yeah.
But that offensive line, oof.
We had three, and if Barrett Jones was about 2 inches taller, Barrett would have went first round.
Okay, got one more question from the audience from Ron Dillard. What did you think about Keon Keeley when you? Oh, there we go. When you played him, and what stood out about him?
Yeah, he's a super long rusher, super athletic rusher. So it was definitely definitely a good competition going up against him. I have a ton of respect for him. He's a great player, and I think he'll do great things at Alabama.
Who got the best of who that game?
let me bring him on full screen.
I think we definitely battle back and forth, but I think compared to some of the other offensive linemen that he went against that season, I think I definitely did the best.
Well, the best advice I can give you about high school football, man, finish your senior year strong. Kick everybody's butt that you can kick, because the guys that you'll play against in high school that end up being your teammates in college, you always have bragging rights.
Yes, sir.
And it'll be important, because trust me, there'll be a lot of arguments about whose team was better.
Yes, sir.
Who the arguments?
Yeah, the arguments. We still have them to this day.
Well, you're about to head into your senior year. What are your final goals? How do you want to leave your legacy of football at your high school before heading to Tuscaloosa?
I mean, I just really want to continue what I've kind of been doing. What I've been doing, just continuing to mash people on the field, and then really just mentoring all our younger offensive linemen and players on our team to really set up Calvary for the future. And winning a state championship wouldn't be bad either.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Hey, state title. There you go.
Yes, sir.
Well, man, we greatly appreciate you spending this time with us, and we definitely hope that you're willing to come back throughout the season. We'd love to get some updates on how your final year is going, how you're feeling, and as you draw closer to your time in Tuscaloosa, we definitely want to know more about that. Thank you again. If you would, before you head out, tell all the fans what you got going on next in the summer, and then how they can find you on social media.
Yeah, so I mean, really, just the summer, just a lot of football, basically. But there is a lot less stress from recruiting, so there's that. But my Twitter's just my name with an underscore in between, so Joseph_Ionata, and my Instagram's just j.ionata, IONATA 55.
All right, I got one more tip for you. The best fishing spot in Tuscaloosa is off Jack Warner on the other side of the spillway, just a little bit past Stillman College on the right. You look like you like to get out there.
I do. So that's good to know.
Yeah, if you like snatching those huge catfish out, they're right below that spillway, man. You can go get them. We got in trouble often for skipping class to go fishing.
That sounds awesome.
So are you conveying skipping class to this young man right here?
But that fishing spot was so good, we'd just be out there. We wouldn't want to leave.
I got you. Also,
this tip has been brought to you by Kenny. I seen something.
Yes. Marvin, you can't let him leave without one final tip. Best barbecue spot.
Woodrow's Archibalds.
Okay, Woodrow.
Better than Dreamland. Woodrow's Archibalds, best barbecue in Tuscaloosa. Yep, from Tuscaloosa. I grew up there. I know the owners of most of the barbecue spots in Tuscaloosa. No offense to the rest of you all, but Woodrow's Archibalds is the best.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you again, Joseph. We greatly appreciate you. Roll Tide, sir.
Yes.
We'll be in touch.
And welcome to the family.
Yes, sir. Welcome to the family.
Thank you.
Man, awesome time with that young man. But before we move forward, of course, Stephen S. Smith, as always, is going to have the right kind of news. And what better man to tell us what's going on with Alabama than the man who's always in the know?
Well, I appreciate it, Justin. So we got the transfer corner. Trey Amos has officially shared his first photo as a member of the University of Alabama. He committed to Bama from the transfer portal, Louisiana Lafayette, on May 9th. He dropped his first photo over the weekend. It's him in his Crimson Tide suit. So Trey Amos ready to go. He captioned it, "New beginnings, hashtag trust the process." So he's already getting the word there from Coach Saban. The interesting thing is going to be is where does he fit in that cornerback room? because you got Kool-Aid McKinstry who's back. You got Terrion Arnold who's back, and now you add a Trey Amos who's 6'1", 200 pounds. He's long, he's rangy, he's athletic, he can take the ball away. So this fall camp is going to be fun to see kind of where he fits in that cornerback room. Also, Ty Simpson has dropped his summer photos. He captioned his, be uncommon, with him jumping around and whatnot. So it's going to be interesting to see this whole thing with the quarterback too. Now, me personally, I still think Jalen Milroe trots out there first, no doubt about that. But the quarterback room, and of course with Trey Amos, and then also Jace McClellan has something to prove. He didn't hopped out here on social media. Do not overlook me.
Hey, man. Hey, I got one question for you, Steve. How reliable is this information? Because all I can think back to is 2 years ago.
I knew it.
Selling Ben Davis to us at the same damn time. You were selling Ben Davis to us.
Look. That ain't my fault. Ben was preparing. That's on Ben.
You were the number one cheerleader for Ben. You were selling Ben hard.
Hey, Ben you got to do it on the field. You can do it in practice, and I saw in practice, but on the field, that's Ben. Once again, Ben mentally, I don't know where he was.
I'm just saying, we got to take 2 or 3 points off your credibility for being Davis. That one, we got to take some.
Really?
Well, Marvin,
Really?
what will exonerate Stephen M. Smith from that one mistake? And need to remind everybody, Stephen rarely makes mistakes. That just happened to be a really big one.
Look, you want to talk to his dad, Wayne, about that, okay? We're going to talk to Wayne about that one.
I'm just giving Steve crap. I know Steve, he's really great
at
what he
does. What, Marvin? I appreciate that.
But you know what, though? I work with statistics a lot, and we all know there's always going to be one outlier. Ben was the outlier, and we'll leave it at that, and we'll keep it moving.
but I will say this, though, to have Trey Amos on campus, like I said, where does he fit here in this room? Because, of course he's going to play special teams, but at corner, if there's a struggle from Terrion Arnold, I don't see it. I think Terrion's going to ball out. So you got him and Kool-Aid. You may get Trey Amos in some different packages. I know the biggest thing for Marvin's going to be that inside linebacker position. Who you got right there? Bama's got 6 guys that can play inside linebacker. But I think the main two you're going to look at here, Deontay Lawson's going to be one of them.
Yeah.
D-Law's going to be one of them. But the other one's going to be fun. Who's going to join him? Because Blackshire can do it. We've been waiting on him. But there's some young guys behind him who can thump. Jahad Campbell can thump. Sean Murphy can thump. Justin Jefferson, we saw him in the spring. He can thump. You got some guys that can thump. Transman Marshall, the transfer from Georgia, can thump. So Deontay Lawson's one. But who joins him? That's going to be the mystery once fall camp gets in. Who joins Lawson?
Yeah, and that's a very important position because we all know so goes your middle linebacker, so goes your defense. We all know, we get it. Yeah, your middle linebacker has to be highly intelligent because he has to make all the audibles, the checks and adjustments on the field in less than a millisecond in most cases. We get that. But we need the physical to match the mental this time around. We need both. We don't need somebody who could just do one. We need both. Okay? It's not that hard. Somebody, step up. Come on.
So I want to ask a question. I just want y'all's opinion on kind of switching over to the offense in terms of receiving. So I see we don't talk about offense.
We got to take Marvin off screen for this one, but go ahead.
I know. Okay, so one question that I keep hearing come up is, are we going to have that 1,000-yard receiver? Now, when I think about it, I'm thinking about we have really good tight ends. And so I just don't know if we're going to hit that 1,000 yards. But one person that comes to my mind is Ja'Cory Brooks. And I feel like he's a lot of times a guy that we don't really think about a lot, like kind of like Christian Leary last year, but they're the ones that are typically more dependable. So I think like Ja'Cory Brooks, I think a lot about John Mechie, where, he's always where he needs to be. You think about the 2021 season when we played Auburn, that last minute of the game, or like when we played Cincinnati. So I'm just curious, do y'all think that we can maybe have at least one receiver hit that 1,000-yard mark? No.
Go ahead, Steve. You start, and then Marvin who's shaking his head, who doesn't believe in offense, will go after you.
Number one definitely depends on the starting quarterback. That's number one. And then number two, if there is a 1,000-yard receiver, I would look squarely at Malik Benson. I think Ja'Cory Brooks can get you between 600 to 800, but I think Malik Benson, with his type of speed and what he brings upon the snap of that ball, I think if there is one, I would look at him. If there is one, now I can honestly, truthfully see Tommy Rees just spread this thing out to where you have a bunch of 600 to 800-yard guys, maybe even a 400-yard receiving tight end, CJ Dupree. There you go, right there. But I'm just saying, if there is a 1,000-yard guy, I would maybe look at Benson.
All right, Marvin. Before I give my 2 cents, what you got?
We won't have one. I'm going to tell you why. Too many factors in play here. For one, we have a new offensive coordinator, Tommy Rees. He loves his tight end, so we know he's going to have the tight end involved in this process. 2, we're breaking in a new quarterback who we still don't know who that quarterback is going to be at this time. 3, the offensive line. We still don't even know who the starting offensive line is going to be. 4, breaking in a new quarterback in a new offensive system. You're going to see a lot of running the ball first and foremost. Now, once they try to run that ball to make that run effective, what do offensive coordinators like to do? They like to run screens out of that set. Why? Because that loosens the defense up. So if you're going to run a lot of screens to loosen up the run game for your running backs, you're not taking a lot of shots downfield. And then you're going to have to ask yourself, how comfortable will the offensive coordinator be with that quarterback throwing that ball downfield? Because possessions are very valuable in today's game with high-powered offenses. So in a lot of instances, you'll see a coach not push the ball downfield and do it conservatively just so they can hold on to that ball to limit the amount of possessions the other team has.
Yeah, I'm kind of – oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, that was all we needed, I guess.
I guess so. How do you follow that?
I know.
For me, I feel like if we don't, it's going to be because we are going to be a wide receiver by committee type team. I feel like the first 4 or 5 games are going to kind of resemble what we saw in 2014, where we relied heavily on an elite running game, those big uglies up front. And like you mentioned, the tight ends, they're going to get a lot of love. And then once that quarterback has reached the comfort level where Tommy Rees feels like, okay, it's time to push that go button, then we'll start releasing that ball in the air. And of course, like you said, Malik Benson is the name that comes to mind right away. But I also think that Kendrick Law is going to be a guy who may not have 1,000 yards receiving. He'll have 1,000 yards all purpose. So that's a guy to be looking out for. And as far as a tight end, I honestly feel like an Alabama tight end will lead the conference in receiving this year. That's my hot take.
Well, here's one thing that's going to happen that a lot of people don't realize. So, again, you're breaking in a new offensive coordinator, a new quarterback. You're breaking in a lot of new people. And you look at last year's group, there was no one receiver that separated himself and said, hey, I'm that guy. So what does a coach do going into the next season? He's going to stick with those guys, even though no one separated themselves, until you see one of these younger guys emerge. Once you see that younger guy emerge, then, you'll probably see that passing game start to go down the field more often. But in the beginning, I don't think we'll see a lot of it because the wide receiver play last year just was not there. And again, breaking in a new quarterback, new offensive coordinator, I just don't see it happening.
Going back to what Justin mentioned with Kendrick Law, all I'm saying is Tommy Rees, dust off that old jet sweep, use that Kendrick Law, let that joker turn the corner and let that man go. I mean, I can literally see him all-purpose type of guy, receiving, running the ball, jet sweep, put him on kickoff. Nick Saban called the man a flat dog. He didn't call him that for nothing. Kendrick Law is one of those tough as nails type dudes.
Hey, Steven, they say they ran a jet sweep with you in high school, but you didn't know which ball to grab. So you just out there.
Hey, they actually ran the jet sweep me in high school. I did pick up 2 yards. I got cleaned out, but I got the first down.
You know which ball you was looking at. It was about 3 or 4 of them glasses on. It was
Hey, I got that one gone, too. Until I got hit by Big Ron. Then it was over with then.
That's when your dreams are shattered, right?
I promise you, man. Hey, that's when my Meek Mill moment just kind of went down. It's all right. It's all
But
right.
but God had another
Got another
plan
plan.
for you,
Yeah,
and that's why we're able to sit with you today, man.
yes, and this
So
is why I'm still waiting on Lens Crafters for this NIL. Lens
Yeah.
Crafters.
Whatever make you feel better. Justin got a paper cut running through the paper pregame and got put on IR for the rest of the season. So
absolutely did, and I sued my school for that. Anyway, just a program note, folks. Unfortunately, Amari Black cannot make it tonight. He had a team meeting he had to get to. Was not able to make it, but we are going to reschedule. Just spoke with his
Save it.
NLL provider, and he's going to more than make up for it. Well, it's about time to close up shop. But before we do, we're going to go around the room in our closing segment, Marvin, and let everyone pop what they got, starting with the Marvin Constant. What is going on with 40 Plus Strong? How can people get their hands on it? And when's the next vacation?
they're not vacations. They're mental wellness retreats. Okay. All right. Again, you got to tell yourself what makes it work for you, okay? But no, you can find me on Instagram, Constant45. The link to purchase my book is on there, Physical and Mental Fitness at 40 Plus. Again, once you get to the late 30s, 40s, 50s, the body doesn't work quite like it used to. So if you're looking for a tool, a high-quality resource at a low cost, $15. It has 3 different workout programs in there, one for beginners, one for intermediate, one for those who've been doing it for a while, just need a different challenge in life. So, and I'll be 44 soon. And I'm still holding it in the road. So again, you're looking for a tool that'll help you, you just might want to look better for your spouse. You might just want to put on some old clothes you wore back in high school. No matter what your reason, the book will help you get there.
Also, the book comes with a pair of boxing gloves. So definitely get the book. It does come with a pair of boxing gloves.
Stephen M. Smith, what do you have going on? And then we'll let C'Chi round it off for us.
Well, tomorrow being Wednesday, we'll be back within my own words, just continuing the summer conversation, just getting Tide fans to July, which is SEC Media Days, which will be in Nashville this year. Should be a very fun experience hearing all the coaches talk and have conversations, so that'll be fun there. Also, along with that conversation of in my own words, we'll be doing a lot of Bama guys getting ready for training camp in the NFL. We know Will Anderson just signed his rookie contract, some big numbers right there for him. Bryce Young getting ready for training camp. It's going to be huge for Bryce. Mac Jones, New England Patriots, do the right thing and sign DeAndre Hopkins. Please, Belichick, do the right thing. But in my own words, I'll be venting to Bill Belichick, among other stuff.
And we'll be tuned in for that for sure. C'Chi, what do you got for us? How can folks find you? What you got coming up? All that good stuff.
Yeah. So you can find me on Instagram. It's beauty_of_intelligence. So you can pretty much find me there. I'm not active on Twitter or really anything else. And then as far as what I have coming up, I know I mentioned last week about my business, which just launched. So the primary services that I'm offering are like web design. So basically website design, from your hosting, the design, all that good stuff. Mobile applications, all that, career strategy. Just it's really going to be a conglomerate of a lot of different services, but also products. So we have a lot of branded products that are really cool. So I'm looking forward to that. Hi, Erica. That's my best friend.
Hey.
But yeah, so it's just a lot. And honestly, what I envision, I don't even think really words can describe just yet. So I'm just kind of, going through the process, making sure I have like roadmaps for everything and just want to be of value to people. So
you know how to code and program? You know how to code and program?
I know. Yeah, so my background is mechanical engineering, but a lot of the recent work that I've done has been a lot with like software engineers. So basically managing teams that create like mobile applications, and I know how to create them too. A lot of like user experience, so kind of going through the flows of what you see on the screen and things like that. So honestly, it's really fun.
You good with JSON?
To some degree, not. I wouldn't say.
I might have a job for you if you're good with JSON.
Yeah, does it have to be JSON? Oh, we can take it offline. But...
Yeah, that JSON schema. We got. Yeah.
Okay, we can maybe outsource it.
This segment brought to you by LinkedIn.
Yeah.
C'Chi, you may be getting
also
some,
Indeed.com.
I don't even know what JSON is.
No, we don't.
No, JSON. Is this something that you're asking for yourself, Marvin?
No, for work. I mean, it's something I'm working on. But for those who don't know, it's JavaScript object notation. It's a programming
Yeah.
language.
So I'm sure our inbox is going to be flooded with job offers. C'Chi, I'll pass them along to you. Steve Brown could not make it tonight. He had a reading tonight for a script, but he wanted to let me know he wanted everyone to know September 16th he will be returning to Tuscaloosa for a show, the Central Homecoming Weekend, September 16th. He will be there. Those tickets will be available on Eventbrite. So definitely be looking out for that. Pack the place out, sell it out. I'm sure there'll be no problem whatsoever doing that.
So he had a reading. Sam, I am green eggs and ham. Okay.
I was waiting for it. I was just waiting for it.
He better be glad he's not here.
Hey, and Marvin, that Hooked on Phonics book you mentioned last week, I think we need to send it to him. For that leapfrog.
Oh yeah.
Bro, when boy pulled out the computer, I was like, nah, man, nah.
Hey, really? What is that?
Quality entertainment. Folks, stay tuned at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. The final whistle with Matt Cadell, Chris James, Dan James, and Coach Smook will be here on this channel. You want to stay tuned for that. And hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let us know that you love us. We greatly appreciate all the attention, especially Marvin. He's an attention seeker. I mean, yeah, he's a great guy.
I am a wellness retreat seeker.
Wellness retreat seeker. So if you need wellness retreat tips, hit him on IG. But that'll do it for us on the Bama Standard. Roll Tide, everybody.
Roll Tide.